bunch of former OnlyFans simps are now suing the platform because they found out, shocker, that they weren't, in fact, messaging the models they were subscribed to when they were on the chat service. It is, in reality, if you weren't already aware, a bunch of hired middle management, probably from India and Bangladesh and all sorts of other countries. And these are men that are hired by OnlyFans agencies to essentially sext with the OnlyFans simps,
and these guys
pretending to be a hot chick.
And these guys are like, look, false advertising, I'm suing you.
How do, like, when they start asking for boobs and vagine, how do you not know?
Well, at that point, that's the interesting thing. They have, obviously, pay-to-play situation where you can pay extra for a private photo, private video, whatever, and they usually just have those like already loaded in a catalog. Those are taken.
They take a ton and then have them backlogged.
The OnlyFans model is responsible for just actually taking the photos and the videos, whatever.
I mean
but the OnlyFans agencies have access to all of that and dole it out to the direct messages.
You missed what I was saying when the OnlyFans models start asking the guys for boobs and vagine because it's Indian dudes that are doing the.
I see. So. Yeah, no. I mean, it's like, I don't think it's like not false advertising. Like,
look, the judge should take all the money those guys have. They should find in favor of OnlyFans and say the guys that are suing OnlyFans are no longer allowed to have money because they're irresponsible with it.
I have never wanted both sides to lose more than I do right now.
Well, I mean, in the end, the lawyers are who really wins.
2 men are taking legal action against OnlyFans over the claim that the models use chatters to talk to them. I'm surprised, honestly, that they're not using AI exclusively at this point, but most of the time they're using these services that hire out OnlyFans chatters. They are paid by the minute, by the hour, and they're usually less than fluent in English, and they're from developing countries where they're okay with getting paid pennies to do this. And I saw one journalist write a piece about becoming one of these OnlyFans chatters. It is not easy work. It's very demanding and not something that most people want to,
invest in,
get involved in. It's the dirty work. It's called the dirty work for a reason.
It's a thankless job, but somebody's got it's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it.
Yeah. So then you essentially are messaging these like OnlyFans addicts. Most of them are. Like, if you're turning to paid platform like that, you're not only a porn addict, but you're specifically addicted to this form of pornography that feels personalized and it feels like a relationship. You have a parasocial relationship with this OnlyFans model. And they are telling these OnlyFans models, or who they believe to be these OnlyFans models, about like, I'm so lonely, like my wife left me, she like took the kids, whatever, like I just lost my job, I'm so depressed, like send ass pics, whatever. Like, that's the profile, the psychological profile of the guy who is messaging the OnlyFans model. And you, as the chatter, are expected to triage these crazy people, these simps, and get them to upsell and upsell and upsell on more and more exclusive content.
It's probably pretty expensive.
And it's like a slot machine, basically.
If they win the lawsuit and it creates some type of legal precedent where it has to be the actual OnlyFans performer who does it, it might actually curb the use of the platform because they're like, look, I don't want to go through all of this work. Or it creates a pricing model that's so high, they're like, look, I can only afford to do it so many hours in the day. I'm going to have to charge an insane amount and only a certain amount of people are going to be able to afford it. Maybe it ends up helping people more than we think.
So this is a class action complaint that you can actually join if you want to. This was actually published back in August last year, and they are taken names. These are two OnlyFans users claiming that the platform allows fraud to take place on its site because models can use third-party services to talk to their subscribers and impersonate them. I cannot believe these men put their names out there, but we have M. Brunner and J. Fry from Illinois claimed they believed the creators they were subscribed to were speaking directly to them in messages and videos. They suspected they were talking to agency chatters and not the real creators when they realized that one individual would not be able to send the volume of genuine DMs or video clips to meet the demand of 700,000 fans.
He's like,
You don't say.
He's like, the math isn't mathing. I finally started to think about it, and I was like,
No freaking way. I mean, mind blown by that. Both of them claim had they known they were not talking with the real model, they wouldn't have subscribed or paid as much money as they did.
Yeah, well, I mean, that might be actually true because you hear stories of like these dudes, these simps that are like, oh, I gave her $10,000 and like she shook my hand. And then you see the OnlyFans model posting, me and my boyfriend are going on this blah, blah, blah vacation. It's like,
well, okay.
You finance that, homeboy.
That's what they want, though. They kind of like want the
it's like a provider fetish.
It's that simulation of like providing for them, which the OnlyFans models play into, because then they make these videos like, I bought my first car, I bought my first house, whatever, with money from millions of married men. They say in the lawsuit, one of the plaintiffs created an account. I just love how they're acting like this is so wholesome and innocent. He says he created his account primarily to engage in friendly conversations with the models and share photographs of his cooking creations.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sure it had nothing sordid to do with it at all.
Only
no
pans.
buttholes. Right?
Nothing sexual whatsoever involved in why he wanted to subscribe to these models, I'm sure. It had nothing to do with the nudes. It was just all about friendship and food and love. They say he began to become suspicious of who he was actually communicating with when he got contradictory information and errors within the messages.
Wait, what type of errors?
Like spelling errors. As I said,
Look,
these chatters are not from English-speaking countries.
Yeah, but here's the thing, guys. Like, all the women have to do to bypass this is, pretend to be really stupid. Or just be really stupid. And then they're like, look, you saw a bunch of spelling errors. What about me has ever seemed like I was scholarly?
Well, it depends on the amount you want to pay for the third-party service if you're the OnlyFans creator, because there are some high-end ones where the chatters will be specifically trained to impersonate the way you type and your style, the emojis you use.
No capital
your
letters
lingo.
if you don't capitalize.
Right, exactly. Your lingo, the way you punctuate things, the way you spell things, they'll study the way you type so that it's more convincing. But if you want to pay, that's only if you want to pay top dollar. If you're trying to do this on a budget, you're going to be paying some guy who's making a bunch of spelling errors and grammatical errors because he doesn't, speak English.
Yeah.
He's probably using Google Translate. By exercising its discretion to enrich itself while participating in the deception of its customers.
Oddly enough,
OnlyFans consciously and deliberately frustrates the agreed common purposes of the contract and disappoints the reasonable expectations of plaintiffs and class members, depriving them of the benefit of their bargain.
Funnily enough, when I was watching A Working Man, there's a scene where he has to record a guy speaking in Russian and then have it translate. I was like, they just didn't take the shortcut and imagine that Jason Statham, as somebody who worked special forces in Britain, didn't speak Russian. So yeah, they're probably using Google Translate for all of this, and it's just not coming across well.
When you laid it out, the last little bit that you were reading, it made me think they might actually have a legal argument.
Well, yeah,
they might.
Like false advertising. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Well, the assumption or the agreement with OnlyFans is it's only fans. You're supposed to be talking to the artist, the person, whatever. You're supposed to actually be able to access them. It's ostensibly that you're really talking to that person, and that might actually be actionable.
No,
now that
I
you think
agree.
about
I agree that there might actually be action taken on this, but you know, if it were my courtroom, I'd be like, "You're a coomer.
Well, yeah,
case dismissed.
You're not
like
you're not allowed
you
to have
deserve
money
nothing.
anymore.
You deserve less than nothing. We should actually send you to jail." And the OnlyFans creator that you were subscribed to, you're both going to jail, actually, and you deserve nothing. Both of you can go rot. Yeah. That's what I would say if it were my courtroom.
Setting legal precedent might be enough, though. If you're looking to play the long game and take down aspects of the industry, then you got to play the long game and set some type of legal precedent.
See, it's also a confidentiality issue, because think about the way that these men are just spilling their guts and private information and private photos on the direct messages to what they believe are these women, and it's being shared with hundreds of random people across the globe.
Yep.
So that alone, like, that's probably actionable as well. The confidentiality breach.
Yeah.
And they're just trauma dumping to this, like, random sloot on the internet.
Not even a sloot.
Sloot surrogate.
Random,
who they believe is a sloot.
Random
They're like,
Haji.
they are trauma dumping to who they believe is a sloot on the internet, which they shouldn't be doing anyway. So, of course, I will lose no sleep on this. But
like, isn't this kind of the trope of like what men would do when they would get actual prostitutes, which was like sex then trauma dump afterwards? They're skipping the first part. They're skipping the part.
You're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong.
right. Yeah, but that's kind of part of it, you know. They don't want to confront the reality of this person. It's about the artifice.
Yeah. And I would probably make the argument that most of them don't even want the illusion broken. They just want to continue to live in the denial of the situation. It's probably a lot more comfortable that way.
Right, I agree. So, you know, the way things stand now, like, everybody wins, right?
Is it everyone wins or is it everyone loses?
They're getting what they're looking for, is what I'm saying. The OnlyFans creator, she wants money. The subscriber, he wants some fake relationship that he knows deep down is fake. Mm-hmm. And they're just they're playing dumb.
With all of the distractions in modern society, it's very easy to push something deep down and not think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.